Hi all, we're from Group 7. We'll present material from the Introduction to General Linguistics course. But before that, I would like to introduce the members of our group. First, there was Fadli Valentina Samuel Mulyadi, and second is Presi Jennifer Laloan, and third is Theo Delusual, and me, Silvana Ningsi Babutuman. I start from what language is. A language is a system of communication which consists of a set of sounds and written symbols which are used by the people of particular country or region for talking or writing. Language is a system of conventional spoken manual or signet or written symbols by means of which human beings, as members of a social group and participants in its culture, express themselves. The functions of language include communication, the expressions of identity, play, imaginative expression, and emotional release. And next is what linguistics is. Linguistics is the scientific study of language, and its focus is the systematic investigation of the properties of particular languages, as well as the characteristics of language in general. In linguistics, it is generally not that speech is primary and writing is secondary. Linguistics takes this position because all languages are spoken with the expression of dead languages such as Latin, which now exist only in written form, and only part of these languages are written.
Language as a part of semiotic system. What is language? Language is the human capacity of acquiring and using complex system of communication. And a language is any specific example of such a system. The scientific study of language is called linguistics. What is semiotics? First, it is the study of signs and symbols and their use interpretation. Second, derived from Greek word semiotikos, meaning interpreter of signs. Third, based on semiosis, it is the relationship between a sign, object, and a meaning. The sign represents the object or referent in the mind of an interpreter. Interpretant is the effect of a sign on the person who reads and comprehends it. Signs and symbols. Symbol is an object that represents, stand for, or suggests an idea or visual image. Sign is a symbol which is understood to refer to something other than itself. Next, mode of language. Linguistic mode. The linguistic mode refers to the right of spoken words. The mode includes word choice, the delivery of written or spoken text, the organization of words into sentence and paragraphs, and the development and coherence of words and ideas. Linguistics is not always the most important mode. This depends on the other modes at play in the text, what kind of the text it is, and other factors. Linguistics is probably the most widely used mode because it can be both read and heard on both paper or audio. The linguistic mode is the best way to express details and lists.
Descriptive linguistics is the work of analyzing and describing how language is spoken, or how it was spoken in the past, by a group of people in a speech community. All scholarly research in linguistics is descriptive, like all other sciences. Its aim is to observe the linguistic world as it is, without the bias of preconceived ideas about how it ought to be. Linguistic competence. Linguistic competence is the system of linguistic knowledge possessed by native speakers of a language. It is distinguished from linguistic performance, which is the way of a language system is used in communication. According to Chomsky, competence is the ideal language system that enables speakers to produce and understand an infinite number of sentences in their language, and to distinguish grammatical sentences from ungrammatical sentences. Linguistic performance is the ability to produce and comprehend sentences in a language. Since the publication of Noam Chomsky Aspects of the Theory of Syntax in 1965, most linguists have made a distinction between linguistic competence, a speaker's tacit knowledge of the structure of the language, and linguistic performance, which is what a speaker actually does with his knowledge.